How's it going, guys? In this video I wanted to take a look at an old version of a very popular handgun these days. I'm sure everyone has heard about the Taurus PT111 G2. This particular gun is the PT111. This is the original version of that series. This gun was actually discontinued from manufacture back several years ago due to a class action lawsuit over some safety issues related to it. And one of the things that Taurus has done is a lot of people who have owned these guns have been able to trade them in and get one of the G2 versions. Now, I decided not to do that with this gun. I decided to just go ahead and keep it. It's one that I've had for several years. I've never had any issues out of it, and by my own testing I've not had the malfunction that has happened on some of the others. Now, the thing about that, because of the problems that they have, I do not carry this gun any longer as a concealed carry firearm. I do, however, still get out and shoot it occasionally. It's a lot of fun, and I see no reason to get rid of the gun when I'm not having the problem with it. And then again, the problem that some people were having with it is one that through proper firearms handling you can easily avoid. One of the issues that some people were having with their particular gun was the safety. And again, you can see here we are unloaded for this demonstration. Some particular models of these, when you put the safety on, has a mechanical safety back here, you were still able to pull the trigger. Now, that would happen if someone had slightly depressed the trigger, as I'm doing now, and then engage the safety. And why you would do that, I have no idea, but that was some of the things that come up in the lawsuit. Some guns that of this series, you were able to also then press and still fire those guns. This particular gun, I cannot. And you can see, again, I am pressing that trigger, the safety is engaged. However, if you notice, the trigger does not come all the way back forward as it should. Now, if I release the safety, you will see the trigger move forward. And that was one of the issues that caused the class action lawsuit. I have seen versions of this gun that do have that particular malfunction. I actually have a 24/7 Pro LS in 45 that does have that particular problem. With it, you can engage the safety and still press that trigger if you have it staged slightly. One of the things about this gun, the second strike capability that was one of the reasons that they became so popular, resulted in a long trigger pull. There's some people that like it and some people do not. And to show you what I'm talking about with this trigger pull, if I press the trigger, you can see that there is quite a bit of slack in there, and then you hit a wall back here, and then once you hit that wall, you can see that it snaps. Now, the reset, not far at all, not very bad for this particular firearm, especially for a budget gun like this. Now, the second strike capability that I was talking about is if you fired one round or tried to fire a round and it did not go off, what you can do is release the trigger further out and then press it again. As you can hear it clicking, it basically becomes similar to a double action. And that is to help fire that round if you have a problem. The magazines that come with this gun are 12 round magazines. I tried to get some a while back, and you can still find them out there in some shops. You can find them online, like on Gun Broker and a few other places. But again, they are becoming a little more rare than some of the newer styles. And I actually called Taurus about getting some of these, and because of the lawsuit, there is nothing that they could help me with. They just flat out refused to do anything to help me get some of these magazines. Nothing against them, but you know, of course with that lawsuit and everything that was going on, I guess it's kind of understandable. But Taurus has gotten some criticism over the years, but I really think they have upped their quality in firearms. They're very affordable, and you get a lot of value for your money. But you can still find these on the used market. You can order them online, and if you do have one of these guns, pick these up whenever you can find them, because they are getting a little harder to find. The reason I wanted to make this video is I know that a lot of people are very familiar with the PT111 G2, and this particular model, even though it's out of manufacturer, is still a good gun. Again, though, I would not recommend it for concealed carry, but you still can find these on the used market. They're becoming much more rare, but they are still out there. And some of the things about this gun, the ergonomics are not very bad at all. Now, an advantage that the G2 has over the original series is the way that they have cut the slide. You can see this one does not have the cuts on front the way that the G2 does. This particular style is kind of a little bit top heavy. If you were to get your hands on one, you would know exactly what I mean, especially compared to the G2. The G2s do feel a little bit better, a little bit more balanced than what this one does. But this is still a pretty good gun. What I'm going to do now is simply put a few rounds down range just to show you the gun in action and to have a little fun. That's why we get into the sport. A lot of times it's just to have fun. I mean, it isn't just about self-defense. It's also about just having some fun with a firearm. So we're going to load up and put a few rounds down range. Field stripping, the original PT111 is very similar to a lot of other guns, especially the new ones. You can see the magazine is unloaded. Also, there is nothing in the chamber. This is your takedown lever right here on the gun. With the gun locked back, what you want to do is simply flip that down, and you need to wiggle that pin out. It can be just a little bit tricky. This particular gun seems to want to be a little stiff, but once you get it started, you can simply pull that pin out just like that, lay that aside, and then hold on to the gun, release the slide lock, and you can see there when I try to pull it apart, it still doesn't want to go. I squeeze that trigger, and you can see that it comes right off. Similar to a Glock, you have to squeeze that trigger. And here where we've been shooting, we're a little dirty, but no big deal, we'll get it cleaned up. And it breaks down fairly simply. And for cleaning, for maintenance, just whatever. And then, of course, going back together is just the opposite. I'm going to take this back apart later to clean it. Put the barrel back in, put the spring back in. And if you'll notice that spring, that is a double captured spring, similar to what the Glocks have done with the Gen 4 and newer models. And again, this is an older gun. This one has been on the market for several years. And, well, it used to be on the market. Goes back together, put the slide back on the frame, and you want to make sure that you line this hole up here with the one on the frame. Just lock the action back. Now make sure that barrel is all the way forward. If you have it out of position, you're going to cause yourself some problems. Just look through there, make sure that you've got it lined up correctly. You'll see the spring sticking through there. There's a little notch on the tip of your pin. You can simply press that in there to kind of roll that out of the way, and just wiggle it back in just like that. Once you get it pressed into place, simply flip it back around. Now you need to make sure that it is flush. You can see we're still kind of sticking out there. And the frame on this one, again, is a little tight. So what I'm going to do is drop that. Just let me have a little bit of slack to where I can get that pressed all the way in. There we go. Now that I've got it in, function test. and we're back in operation. Guys, hope you liked the video. I just wanted to take a few minutes to show you this gun. It's one that I've been wanting to do a video about for a while, even though it's no longer available. I still think that it's a fun gun to take out to the range, in my case out here in my yard, and spend some time shooting, have some fun. Anyways, guys, hope you liked the video. I would appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Click the bell where you will get the notifications every time that there is a new video available. Also, guys, check out the links down in the description. If you're not a member of the NRA or some other gun rights group, I would highly encourage you to do so, to join many of them. Down in the description, there is a link where you can join the NRA at a discounted rate. And, you know, they fight for us, guys. They're not perfect, but, you know, they do fight for our Second Amendment rights. Anyways, check out the links. There's also links to various targets that you may enjoy shooting. They're a great way to have fun. And some game targets, that sort of thing. Thanks for watching. Visit my blog at boomsticktactical.com, and we'll see you next time.